Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. So this is old Kiwi Farm. This is a new map out by Kaz64, 142.6 megabytes to download. This says in the description it is based loosely on the place where Kaz64 grew up in Hawke's Bay, which is on the east coast of New Zealand's North Island. So it's a New Zealand map, or loosely based upon a New Zealand map. I'm going to start off with the slot count because that's going to be relevant in just a moment. On New Farmer, which is what I'm doing the map tour on, the slot count is 632 out of 1299. We'll look at all the equipment and machinery in just a moment. However, if you come onto your own Farm Manager or start from scratch, the slot count drops down to 311. And it will look like this, because you start with nothing on either of those, so the slot count will come right down. All will become a little bit more obvious in a moment. On both of those modes, the 311, you do start with 2 electric fences, which brings me on to the next point. There are quite a few mods that have been put in here by Kaz64, because there are also a load of crops added in, which Kaz64 has been doing on the older maps, adding more crop types in as he goes. So there's quite a few crop types on here as well. We start at the farmhouse, which is placeable and is also the sleep trigger. It's here on New Farmer, but on Farm Manager and start from scratch, the sleep trigger is not there, so you can place anyone you want wherever you want after that. Big open space yard with a large barn, old Kiwi Farm on it, with a load of equipment and machinery in here. And we open that door. The first thing you'll notice is we've got a sugar beet harvester, but it's not red. That's one of the modded ones. Because of the crop types, Kaz64 has put in a root harvester and a load of headers, which we'll have a look at also in a moment. There are there's silos, there's all sorts of stuff we'll go through. Crop types then, we've got carrot, onion, coffee, mustard, millet, tomato, sorghum, rye and rice, in addition to the standard crop types. This map is Seasons and Precision Farming custom ready and good to go. We're going to go around the yard clockwise. We start off with the chickens. That's where your egg boxes will spawn. This is your dialogue box. This is also modded and will hold 500 chickens. So that's just here with your feed trough being there. And we come into the next to the barns and buildings with all of the equipment we start with. So I suppose now will be a good time. We'll have a look at the map, we'll talk about what we start with, and then we'll go around. So the map then looks like this. What do we start with? Well, on New Farmer we start with field 44 and 52. And we've got this area here, which is the main farm. Obviously on Farm Manager and start from scratch, there's nothing on here, that's all clear because the slot count drops right down. So technically a placeable area, of which there are about another 4, I think. There's one there, there's another one down here, another large one over here, so a few placeable areas. Field prices aren't too bad. I mean, they start off, you're looking at 139 grand, I think it's 150, yeah. Then they go up to well over $1 million on some of the bigger ones, as you can see. Forestry, fairly pricey. The forest up the top there, over $1 million to buy, and the forest down by the sawmill is nearly $1 million. You can buy, it's not really a periphery, but it's the sale points. If we click on that, it buys all the plots of land that have got sale points on, so you could add silos and bits and bobs in on those. That's 510 grand to buy those. We'll get to the biogas plant later on. What else will I say about the map? I think that's all for that as far as I'm aware. So as we go across the yard, we've got a water point there with a water tank in it, and then we've got our electric fences. Now I said that the electric fences are the only 2 things you start with. These fenced in enclosures are still here, but the pens inside them aren't on Farm Management start from scratch. So the fence lines are, and the 2 electric fences, but inside them the pens aren't. You can place other things in here, but obviously there's a limit to where you can, because you'll get collisions and things pop up. But for the cows then, we've got our manure pit and our slurry pit just there. Our dialogue box just here, this will hold 500, same as the chickens. Milk point there, and feed trigger along there. And then around the other side, in the grass, we've got our water trigger, water point, and our bedding for straw is just over here. Lots of lighting all around the yard. Then we come out of the cow pasture and into the sheep one. Electric fence there. Dialogue box, 250 sheep this will hold. Wool pallets will spawn just there. And then we've got our feed trough and water trough just over to the side. If we hop the fence, I'm going to use the Warrior, I think. Yeah, to get around the map. Now, what we'll look at... Oh, yeah, the crop types and stuff. So, as far as planting, harvesting, etc., of all the crop types we talked about, if we go to seeders, your seeders... Let's go to one that's quite clear. Your seeders will do carrots, onions, millet, coffee, mustard, sorghum, rye and rice. Your planters will do your sorghum, tomato, carrot and onion. As far as harvesting goes, a standard header, oh there we go, will do millet, coffee, mustard, sorghum, rye and rice. But for the root crops, that's where you need to go to beet technology. Under beet technology, CAS64 has added in the carrot header, onion header, potato header, sugar beet header and tomato header, which are all separate for each individual one. And then for actually planting of those, we've got the, under beet technology, which is we've already got in the barn, the root harvester, which has got a 50,000 litre capacity, and that will do potato, sugar beet, tomato, carrot or onion. So really you only need one root harvester, but you do need multiple headers if you're going to do multiple crops. I don't think it's a downside. I think it's actually a bonus, really. As far as the... Where are we? Under tools. Auger wagons take pretty much most of the new or the additional crop types. And under trailers, we've got the standard distinction there. Doesn't take most things, and it's only got 56,000 litre, well, 56,434. So the modded one that CAS64 has put in does pretty much everything, including all the additional crop types, to 60,000 litres. Same price, so it's kind of, I suppose, a bit of a no-brainer, really, when you think about it. So that's seeders, planters, harvesting, headers, slot counts, crop types. I already said it was. I said it was seasons ready and precision farming ready, didn't I? Let's grab the Warrior. Oh, right, hang on 1 second. Let's get around the map. Actually, I'll disconnect that, don't take it with me. Now, the yard is big enough, and you may also notice as well, or you may have noticed, we don't have a silage clamp as standard. That gives you a bit of leeway to kind of pick your own. There are so many different modded versions out there. The same with water points, although we have got a water point. Sleep triggers, there's so many things available that I think not having one isn't a negative, because it does give you a bit of scope to pick however you want to go with it. We're going to head down to the southwest. First point we're going to head to is the sawmill. Then we're going to come back up. The river runs diagonally up the map. There's quite a few bridges across. As you can see, the forest all down, but like I say, it is expensive to buy, but it's fairly dense, so you are going to make a fair bit of money. And as far as I can tell as well, down here at the sawmill, we do appear to have a mill pond. The actual trigger marks are just there and go off into that area. So if you put your logs into there, and then when you hit that button, that should pay for your logs. So we've got a mill pond, and then we've got a wood chip point. Is just over here. So that's your sawmill. From the sawmill we're going to head back up and over the first bridge. Just I thought I should turn the other way, but it doesn't matter. Now the map itself has some nice sweeping terrain. A few undulations here and there, a few hills in various different places. It's not all flat. Most of the sell points run along the road, which pretty much follows the river as well, actually. Directly opposite we've got well, Parliament Promise Manure. That's a manure and slurry. Is it manure? Manure and slurry. Where are we? Parliament Promise Manure. Yeah, manure and slurry point. Now, oh shit, we'll talk about the biogas plant when we get to it. I don't want to spoil that. There is one sell point that's got me a little bit baffled at the moment. But it could be because I think it's because it might be from PC. So, carrying on down into the southwest. We've got the animal dealer. Just turn in here. As you can see, automatic barriers. Animal dealer is just over here. And then here we've got Luca's All You Got. So this is Luca's All You Got, and this is a buy point. No, this is a sell point. You don't buy from here, you sell here. Fertiliser, lime seed, forage, pig food, herbicide, silage, liquid fertiliser. So any of those things you've got in excess. Now these pallets do move if you bump into them, but I couldn't pick any of them up with forks. I did have a quick check. I thought, well, that's a result, having all that stuff there to start with. That's just to show the sell point. So if you do have any of that stuff surplus, you can sell it here if you want to. The price is about equivalent. I did have a quick test. It might have been a fraction lower, but it wasn't substantially higher or substantially lower. It was about equivalent. So what you pay for it is what you can sell it for. You're not going to make a huge amount of money out of it, I don't think. If you are, and if you have got surplus, I generally find I would store it rather than sell it. I think people only generally sell the stuff if you've got one of those situations where they're buying for way more than you bought it for, you know, and you can make a bit of profit on it. A bit of dodgy dealing goes on. So we're now heading northeast. So next to sell points. Is it sell point or is it the store next? Oh, it might be the shop next, I think. We're going to head to the shop. Now under your vehicles, there's a vehicle in here that's not listed. It's also not listed as leased. But if we go to the vehicles page, the menu, it'll make a bit more sense. Nice large open area, plenty of space. This is also the reset point here at the shop. We can go in through the door here. Is it me or is the scale of that? Oh, that seems very high. I think my head comes up to the doorknob. So, there's your buy point. Got myself turned around. As we come around, cash point if you want it. Then you've got your sell customised repair point just here. We can open up the garage doors. Inside the garage there's a forklift. Now that is part of the map technically. You can use it, of course you can, but if we go to this menu and scroll to vehicles, right at the very top, the Manitou MC18-4 says shop in brackets. Go right across the right hand side, it has no value. So if you sell it, you're not going to get anything for it, assuming of course you can even sell it. I suppose that's something worth trying, isn't it? So it's here to be used if you want to. It's not kind of part of your inventory, it's not down as a leased item. I don't know if it will let me. If it does, you can get rid of it, but it won't be a... Right, so no value. If I sell it, will that drop the slot count? Oh, it won't let me sell it. Pressing X and nothing's happening. So that's just fixed in place kind of part of the map. So, that's the main shop. As I've already said, that's the reset point 2. From here then, we are going to... excuse me. The next point up the road, which is the BP station, fuel point. But around the back of it, it says diesel sales. Now on the actual prices menu, that's your point there for buying your fuel. Around the back here, there's no price given for fuel on here. It says fuel and def. And off camera I tried with a couple of different trailers, got some fuel from around the front and bought it around here. I didn't get a trigger come up at all. So again, I'm thinking that might be PC, it might be the trailer I was using, or it does say on the map though, if we go to the map, which I haven't been to since we started, diesel sales. If I go across one and we go to, yeah, diesel sales right now. If I scroll backwards and forwards, there's nothing on there for a price for diesel at all. So I'm not sure on that one, if I'm honest. Continuing east, we've got Kiwi bale sales is the next point we're coming to. On the left for all your bale selling needs, just off there. Then continuing further, we come to Napier Farmers Market. Now Napier Farmers Market, if you go back to the prices screen, is the place that buys most of all the additional crop types. So that's the Farmers Market sell point, which is just tucked away in here. From here, right, we go back around. We're going to head south a bit first. So we've got a few to take in just here. So as you can see, there's a nice sweep to the landscape. What's also good about it, there's plenty of forestry all around the map as well. You've got all these trees around the edges. Because there's no fences and hedges in the way, there's that possibility that using various different mulchers and tree removal devices, there are quite a few in the mod up now. Extending fields, merging fields shouldn't be too much of a problem. We are coming to, this is Forterra Dairy. So your dairy sale point, this takes milk and eggs here. Cut Forterra Dairy. Now this is where things get a little bit weird. When we come to the next point here, there is what looks like a sell point. And if we cut up here, I'm assuming the barriers are going to open. Yeah. But there's nothing showing on the map at this location for a sell point. Now I even tried buying this plot off camera to see if a sell point would come up and nothing did. So probably now, I say now's probably a good time. We started here at the main farm and we went down and out to the sawmill. We crossed over the bridge down to the animal dealer. Luca's All You Got. Actually, we did Parliament Promise Manure as we crossed the river. Up to the shop, diesel sales and BP, Kiwi bale sales, Napier Farmers Market, and now we've headed south, Forterra Dairy, and now we're here. So at this point here, there's nothing showing as a sell point. I'm not sure about that one. There's nothing in the menu in here. There's not one that I've missed, unless it's one that's been removed, or I don't know. But you have got a huge placeables area just south of here for, again, your own farm, sell points, factories. I don't know what you want to do. I mean, this doesn't say it's factories compatible, but you know what I mean, the buildings and things if you want to put something in, using the various different placeables packs. From here we are going to Hastings Wool. Hastings Wool will do your wool and your cotton, which is just here. And then from here we're going to head out to the biogas plant. So, just so I remember the route I need to take from here. I think it's back up to the dairy and then bung a right, I think, heading further east. Okay, from here. You see the biogas plant just off the left? That's Avatoto Biogas. No, Awatoto, not Ava. It's Awatoto Biogas. That is 78,936 to buy, so not overly expensive. And it's a bit of a hidden gem as well. I've got enough money to buy it, so I think what I'll do is buy it. I've written down the prices, but I thought it just makes more sense to show you as well as we turn in. Now again, you'll notice no silage clamps, but there is space here, so you could place them Again, you may be limited to size and direction, but the sell point is just here and is at ground level. And then we've got our digestate tank, which is over there. Now, what I'll do is we'll go into the map. So we've come across and up here to our Toto biogas. We'll buy that for 78 grand, just over. And then we'll go across to our menu. So we go up to the biogas plant and we'll scroll back across. You'll see the pricing. Now, there's nothing for potatoes, sugar beet, anything like that. But it's far from being a standard biogas plant. It pays out 900 for silage, 360, which is your standard price normally for silage for your grass and hay. 900 for manure, but look at the price for slurry. 1,980 for slurry. That's not bad at all. Slurries normally you don't get very much at all. If you go down to Parliament Promise manure, directly down from that, that's only paying 8. So where are you going to take it? Well, I think I know why. Where? Plus you're going to get the digestate as a byproduct. So biogas plant, big thumbs up on that one. I say you might need to place some silage clamps around, but yeah, that's not bad at all. From here, then we are going to head north and then cut across a little bit. I think last of the sell points. Yeah, pretty sure it is. Going to cross the river one more time. Now, there is obviously more to the map. There's loads more fields that go out to the east, up to the north, more to the south, but I'm just taking in sort of most of the sell points as I go to show you where they are and pricing and that kind of thing. Crossover. I do like as well on the bridges and stuff, the rust effects. There's little details like that make it all, you know, just feel a little bit more lived in, you know. So, last sell point coming up. This is Clive Warehouse with another large placeables area right next to it. Swing round. Sell point is just in here. So yeah, that one building then, south of the dairy, that's just got me a little bit puzzled. Maybe something that's not compatible for console, maybe. Oh, that's the best way of going. Placeables point just here. And that is the map from the biogas plant. We went up, across, Clive Warehouse. North the map's just only there, it's not really much further, but all those fields out there, all these ones to the south and southwest. Pretty cool. The addition of extra crop types always makes a massive difference on maps like this. And I'll be honest with you, that biogas plant, cha-ching. That's it. That's old Kiwi Farm by Kaz64. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.